Hi everybody, this is Kristof, and welcome to the other series I'm going to be working on right now, Breath of Fire 3. This game is very near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love it. It's for the PS1. Anyway, let's get started. So right here we have to enter a name. The default name is Ryu, but I've always for some reason gone with... Where's the... There we go. I've always, for some reason, always gone with Droic. It seems, at least to me, to fit this guy. And now we actually get to set our options before the game starts. So I'm just going to do this. The main thing you need is auto run. You can change your controller around, but auto run is the important one. So anyway, let's get started. So right here, it looks like we have a little baby dragon, crystal, or stuck in a big block of crystal, and they're gonna blow it the hell up. Sounds good. So these guys are named Mogu and Garys, and that's not the name I entered, so I don't think these guys are me. I wouldn't mind having this little explosive setup if it was consistent. Just blow up the backpack and it'll take out the dynamite for you. What do we got? Uh-oh. Looks like the crystal's rupturing. Yep. And the dragon is awake. This doesn't seem good. You know, even if it was stupid, I have to applaud the man for his courage. You see a dragon, what's the first thing you do? You punch it. So right here we have kind of our combat menu. We have the attack button in the middle. If we hold down, we get our items. To the left is examine, which I'll be going over later. To the right is defense. Up are your abilities. If you hold R1, you get the escape button. And if you hold L1, you get charge, which just basically means do basic attacks till everything's dead. Now, the way the beginning works is whenever we get hit, we're going to counter with Whelp Breath. So I'm just going to nip that in the bud and use that right now. It actually does this so you can't die during the intro section. And we just absolutely roasted these two dudes. Now it may seem a little bit morbid, but the first thing we gotta do is we gotta check out this guy's body because he has a melted blade. So the way I'm gonna probably be doing this, I haven't 100% decided yet. Hang on, we got a guy here. So he's asking us if we're a dragon. Let's lie. Let's say no. He didn't believe us. But I'm probably going to be cutting out most of the random battles. Be showing skills that you can get and like new enemies in each area and whatnot. But for the most part, it's not as much about that. To me, this game is about the story. It's just a ton of fun. There's the reprisal Whelp Breath. We just roasted these two guys. I'm probably not going to be over grinding or anything like that. Actually, in the beginning, I'm definitely going to be under leveled for a very good reason, which you'll see. Anyway, let's just skip past all these guys. You kill the ones who want to fight you, and the rest you just leave alone. We're not a bad dragon. This guy has the right idea. Get the hell out. We got somebody who seems a little bit confident. And I see why he seems a little bit confident. He is quite large. So right here we have a battle. We have both the worker and the operator. So let's go ahead and roast the worker, I believe it was, the big one. Or, we can crash the game. actually, the guy who's sitting back there is going to intervene and hit us with a crane. Seems kind of effective, actually. You know, if I had access to a crane to hit a dragon with, I probably would give it a shot instead of punching it. So right here, they got us on an elevator, and now they finally have us in a cage. And they're gonna ship us somewhere. It seems like the shipping fees on a dragon would be a little expensive. You know, it does seem like a hazardous material or something like that. Alright, so here we are. We are awake. And we are trapped in a cage. And if you actually just sit here, this will never end. Like, this is like the world's longest straightaway if you just sit here. But if you want to escape, just mash the D-pad. And we will land in Cedar Woods. It took a little bit longer to come up than I was hoping. The load times on this game aren't the best. They're pretty good, but compared to something like Final Fantasy VII or whatnot, other PS1 RPGs, it's just not as good. You got Mr. Cat Dude here, scared away a boar, but it looks like he was hunting. Well, apparently something is making noise. These really creepy looking dogs and a little naked blue-haired boy. But we got Cat Dude to save the day from these fire-breathing dogs. Just absolutely lovely. It seems like he could eat these too if he really wanted to. And he's just going to leave us here. Well, it looks like he's kind of reconsidering. He's gonna do the right thing reluctantly. He's gonna pick us up and take us home, and turns out his name is Ray. Ray is actually one of my favorite characters in the game. Dude is just way too relaxed for what he does. And he asks the right questions. And he also lives in the fort to end all forts. Good God, look at that thing. So at home, there's this little purple-haired boy waiting for Ray. Got the candle on the table to make it a nice dinner. And he wants to eat me. I don't want him to eat me. But it turns out his name is actually Tipo. So we got Ray and Tipo. And they're going to give me a place to crash, which is quite nice of them. So Tipo, it turns out, looks like was found in the woods as well. I've been saying turns out a lot. So they're going to head to the village and get some food. So sadly, both Tipo and myself were abandoned. We don't have a whole lot of backstory on Ray. It looks like it's dream time. We got this guy with this awesome vest and very pink pants. Who knows our name? And who apparently we're just like. Not sure I agree with this guy talking about how weak people are. Seems kind of a jerk if you ask me. Then we have an angel. Who also knows our name. Alright, looks like we got ourselves a guardian angel. I think I can live with this. So let's begin chapter 1 named Droic. So I believe this is the only dialogue Droic has in the entire game. This is a silent protagonist game, which gives me all the more time to run my mouth. Well, we get to walk around and we are in our PJs. So if we really want to, we could save right here. Not going to worry about that. And then, but instead, I am going to worry about the dressers. And get us a vitamin and a worm. Awesome. Don't think that worm is really something we can eat. Also, why was it in a dresser? It seems like we could go get a bunch just like, I don't know, right here. Anyway, we actually cannot get into battles right now because we have no gear. We are in our PJs. So now is the time to go exploring this little area. So we got ourselves a skill ink from this chest. Highly useful item. And then there's a little bag hanging out behind this tree, so let's go grab an ammonia, which is, if you're familiar with Final Fantasy, a Phoenix down. Let's talk to Mr. Goblin here. He knows a thing or two about camping, and I gotta come back later with my buddies. Which I'm not going to, because, well, I know just about everything there is to know about camping in this game, and I'm gonna explain it. And there was an Aigu back there who tells us about, I believe, combat. But, again, that's what you got me for. So this area, there's a really loud plane flying overhead. Hopefully you don't hear it, but maybe you do. Anyway, this is where Ray found us. And this is probably the only time in the game I ever come back here. Just to get this green apple. It's not a good item, but might as well get what we can. Let's go ahead and get out of here. And last but not least in the area is this lake that we can go talk to. And in it we find crocodiles. We can get as many as we want, but that item is pretty terrible, so I'm not going to worry about that. And instead, I am going to head to the village called McNeil. Wonder if it was built by a guy named McNeil. So what do we got going on here? Uh-oh. So we got Ray hauling it out of a house. Tipo hot on his heels. Tipo can't make the jump down the cliff. And after getting caught trying to steal from somebody, we're going to have a conversation in the middle of the road. Awesome. Well, to be fair, I think he had that mouth to feed anyway, even if I was asleep. Alright, so they're going to hook us up with some gear. Awesome. So Ray's got to say. So they're going to be able to get us some gear. These purloined goods are gonna make it so we're not in our PJs. And it turns out, like, Tipo actually knew our name. Not entirely sure how he knew that. And it's time to skedaddle. Alright, so let's see how we look. Yeah, we don't look too bad. Awesome. So we're gonna go to the road, I guess. We're gonna go to Errol Road. And mug people. Awesome. At least Ray doesn't jive on the whole hurting people deal. And apparently it's so easy a beginner can do it. So now we finally have our party. And I'll go over the menu screen and whatnot in a minute, but there are a couple of things to do first. The first thing we have to do is in this house. We go check out this dresser. We get another vitamin, which is probably too good for us right now, actually. We're looking more for like healing herbs and whatnot. Let's go check out this house. We have some weird little cloak dude in here. Who is complaining that he doesn't get to be as lazy as he likes. I have a feeling he's going to be important later just because he looks different from everybody else. Usually a pretty good sign, at least in this game. The other thing we're going to do is head back to the village. And Ray and Tipo may not be able to steal things, but I sure can. Get a Molotov there. We have the inn right here, which I don't really use too often. And there's nothing there, nothing in these. Okay. There's going to be nothing in there, actually. Let's go swing our sword at this gal and rip her off for two bucks. I think it's hilarious in this game. You can go steal anything. You can go hit people with your sword, and they don't care. They just care when it's relevant to the beginning of the game. Get ourselves an antidote. We got a healing herb earlier, and I believe that's everything in the village. But just to be safe, I'm gonna go steal $2 from this guy and go check out these cabinets. Now, most of the time it's not worth it to hit people with your sword because you get like $2. Occasionally you'll get like 20 or something like that. Anyway, we have access to the world map once again. Couple of fun areas. We have McNeil, we have the farm. Here's Errol Road, which we'll be going to maybe next time. Up here we have the Cedar Woods, which is where we came from. That's our house over there, actually. And we have this little question mark spot. So if you'll notice, right now I have an exclamation point above my head, and the buttons available to me are the X button for enter. There are no random battles, there's just battlefields that show up. We go in here and we can get into random battles. We have nothing going on over here. So what I'm going to do is press start to camp. Now the camping is awesome. It's a free inn, basically. There's just a few times when you would rather be at an inn. We'll go over those when we come to them. But you can talk to your party member, and they talk about about various things, depending on where you are in the story. Right now, we're new, so they're going to kind of tell us what we can do. So let's go check out the menu. I'm actually going to go into the items here and sort and put this healing herb up at the top because it's important. And same with the antidote. This croc deer can go right away. I don't care about it, don't like it. So here's why. Now let's go back to use, actually. So here's why the vitamin is too good right now. It heals 100 HP. More than double the max of anybody in my party right now. It's good later. Right now the healing herb is where it's at. It's where we want to be. And then there's also different tabs like our weapons, our armors, our options. We have our abilities. We also have different tabs. So like the heal, the assist, and the attack. We also have skill notes, which we'll worry about later. The equipment I actually really like just because there is the optimized menu. So we can, get everybody the most powerful in power and defense. But there's also the fast option, which makes sure that your agility stays high. And that's actually pretty important for some people in this game. And last but not least, the best screen in the menu, we have our tactics. So right now we're in normal formation, no special effects, no nothing. We can put everybody into defensive formation, which increases everybody's defense a little bit. But I like the attack formation, at least right now. Whoever is in spot number 1 gets a boost to their attack power. Right now, we want that to be Ray. Now keep in mind, this is battle order, this is not field order. So when we back out of this menu, it goes back to what our field order currently is. And in here, we have a book, which has some options. We can rest, we can save, and we can do 3 things that we don't care about yet. So I think right now, I'll just give it a rest, even though we don't need it. And I'll show you what the save looks like and call it a day here. So I'm going to save, and let's see what we've got going on. So we have the file I'm just playing through casually, and then we have... Well, this is the second time I've recorded this episode because I forgot that resolution changes are a thing. Anyway, let's overwrite this file. And let's see how long it's taken us. Whole 20 minutes, wow. So, this has been Kristof. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Later.